Okay, so we have one surprise for you today. We actually have a new member joining our team, Mike.
Hey, everybody.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Columbus, Ohio.
Ohio, okay. And what is your major?
Middle school math and social studies and intervention specialist.
And if you had to be a pizza topping for the rest of your life, what would you be?
Controversial. Pineapple.
Oh. I would 100% agree. I would be pineapple too. Okay, so
I'm Keaton.
Yeah, I'm Kira.
I'm Fiona.
I'm Bella.
I'm Mike.
I'm Annabelle.
We're
kinetic.
We're kinetic.
We're kinetic.
Cool kids.
So guys, now that we're kind of back all on campus together, we took a trip to the March for Life. 6 of us did over this past Friday, and so I think that it would be really fruitful for us to come in here. We got some vlog clips, but I also think that there's value to sitting here and like speaking it also, and telling you guys about it and the fruit that came from it and our own experiences with it and sort of how it went, and bringing you guys into the March as much as possible, because I mean it's a very important thing. That at Kinetic, and the more that we grow and the more that we're trying to do, we want to make sure that our kind of pro-lifeness is put on full display, because it's something that we're very proud of and that we're unapologetic about. And so March for Life 2024, let's get into it.
So when we got there, sorry, go ahead. So when we got to the march, so we got there. It was only 24 hours, but it felt like 3 weeks. It was so long. We left
at midnight.
Thursday night?
Yeah,
we left midnight Thursday. And
we got to DC around 6:30ish.
Yeah. We had to stop though halfway through. We had to stop like 3 hours into our drive because people had to go to the bathroom.
Hey guys, it's literally 3 a.m. and it's snowing, and we're somewhere in, bro, it's actually slick, bro. It's somewhere in Pennsylvania on the way to the march.
No, this is great. Yippee.
So,
March.
it's pretty fire, bro. What bus are we?
Bus 4. I think that white one.
That doesn't narrow it down.
What?
Like 4 white buses.
And it's like you couldn't really sleep the whole 6 hours because when they stop the bus, like all the lights turn on and then you're just like awakened by this like bright light in your face. And so yeah, we got like 3 hours and then like break for like 40 minutes because the lights were on. They were like, we're gonna stop for 10 minutes, but then like 50 minutes later, we're still sitting there.
I've gone in the past. I went with my high school, but going with the university was just such a cool experience, and it just really felt like I was making an impact in our country. It was just so amazing.
It was my first time going, and I thought it was just so bizarre just seeing everyone there that share common beliefs with you and just being like just united under one movement.
I also think there's something really powerful to the fact that, it was the case for everybody at the March for Life, but just speaking from like our perspective of going there, getting absolutely zero sleep. Like we got back Friday night. I think I slept essentially the whole day Saturday. Like we got essentially no sleep. Weather was atrocious. If you guys looked at pictures from the March for Life, I'm sure you saw it was incredibly snowy and cold, and there wasn't like physically wise anything that was comfortable about it. And yet it was the desire and the willingness of us, but genuinely everybody, the thousands and thousands of people there, that was really, really impactful. The conditions of it didn't stop people from showing up and knowing their reason there.
And it wasn't just like it was so many young people, but also there were families with young children, and then also older people. Like literally everyone was there, and I think that was really cool too.
The pro-life stigma, and I know that we're kind of jumping off of just going through how the March for Life went, but the pro-life stigma that all pro-lifers are the same, and that they're all either religious or just people who hate women, or just people like that kind of stigma. It's completely like cast out by the March for Life, because you see everybody there. People of even like vastly opposite political ideologies from like the typical like pro-lifer, which is typically associated with the Republican Party. Like even people from a different political ideology being there and saying, no, like we see that this is genuinely murder. And so it was people from all different walks of life and religion. It's not just Christians there. It's not just Catholics there. Because that's my big thing. It's like we know obviously Catholicism is true, and Catholicism is the truth, and therefore they're going to be pro-life, but you don't have to be religious to be pro-life, because I mean it's objectively wrong. And so that was really inspiring also to see that it's not all the same mold. There's just people that are against genocide, and that was really, really cool.
We were able to, it wasn't we were just going there for fun and to enjoy it with our friends and hang out and like, march for this cool thing that that we don't know a lot about, but like we were choosing to go in the snow, in the cold, and choosing not to get sleep, and being able to just like, it's almost like redemptive suffering. We were talking about it on the way there, and just being able to make that sacrifice for the unborn and for this movement was a really cool way to show our support for it, I guess.
Oh my gosh, and in Adoration, Sarah Kroger, she's not like, she's an up-and-coming Christian.
She's still a very small
she's a very small artist,
Christian artist,
but she has this song called Belovedness, and it's like one of my top 10 like favorite songs of all time. And I was able to hear her sing that during Adoration, and just like, my life will never be the same again. It's just such a beautiful song, and if you've not heard it, I would encourage you to go take a listen.
Something with the march that it is prominent, but like I feel like it should be more prominent, is like, yes, it's a physical thing that we're doing, like we're showing the representatives of our country what we want, what is right, but it's also a very prayerful experience because it's also a spiritual battle. So that's why I think it's so cool that we started off with the holy hour, and then in the morning before we actually went to the march, we were at Mass, and I think it's just very important to like be carrying Christ into the battle with us, like especially since like we went to Mass and we received him in the Eucharist, and then like taking that with us into the fight just shows how much more powerful our witness can be.
Another thing at the rally that that struck me was when they were talking about what all of the like pregnancy resources centers are doing, and just all of kind of like the statistics in a way. I thought that was really cool to see, because it was actually seeing what like the hands on the ground are doing, and knowing that there are people who are meeting women and soon to be fathers and mothers where they are, and just supporting them throughout. I mean, the Sisters of Life obviously, but then just so many other pregnancy resources, and I thought that was really good too.
And just like walking through the streets, like some people just like didn't even think of like wearing snow boots. Like, that's stupid, I'm gonna be ignorant, but like, yeah, I was smart, I wore snow boots, but some people were idiots and didn't. No.
I think because of the conditions that we were in, it meant so much more, and it was it was like a bigger meaning, and it says a lot more than if we were marching in like 65-degree weather and it was sunny out,
right.
But instead it's snowing and freezing, and so I think that just made the message much more clearer and stronger, of how many people truly care about this movement.
We put hot hand packets
My hot hands.
in our shoes to keep our tootsies warm, and it was great. But like, they had a ton of different speakers there, and I thought one that was just very like inspirational to me, having a big background on sports and stuff, was Michigan's head coach Jim Harbaugh came and gave a talk, or just gave a speech real quick, and he also marched alongside of all of us, which was just so awesome to me, because he's such a public figure. He's a very popular figure just in the sports world, that everyone sees, everyone knows, because he did just win a national championship, which makes his stage even bigger. But just him being there was so cool, because it shows that there's other people with bigger platforms, with just more people following them, and they have their voice, and they're using that platform that they have to spread this cause, and they're using their voice to help us also share the cause. It was just really cool.
One of the coolest things I think that I saw on the march was that as we were marching, there was a group of it looked like decently old people, not calling people old, but elderly, standing on the side wise people as we were walking on the march, all holding up signs. It was maybe 6 or 7 of them, maybe more, and I just didn't see. That said, I was conceived in rape and I love my life, and that was a really, really beautiful thing to see. Because again, I mean, that's even more controversial than being pro-life in general, is being pro-life in all cases. And obviously we as Catholics are, and Kinetic is, and like we're going to talk about that. And seeing that like it's those people say like my life still has dignity, my life still has value. And because theirs does, because hot take, everybody's life has dignity and value, and killing people is kind of bad. It was bad, and it's really cool to see that, and it was just powerful for me as we were walking.
One thing that like really struck me was when we were, sludging through the half melted ice and snow and stuff, was we were coming up the hill getting close to the Supreme Court, and I could see all the people in front of me, and then I turned around and just saw all of, thousands of people behind me. And I can't explain what it was about that moment of like, this is how the world has changed for truth, for goodness, through, and this is just a once a year thing, but it's like if every person was there for a reason, when we all leave, how do we promote life and the sanctity of every human person and the dignity? Like, how does that, imagine, it's like a ripple effect of like, we're all here in this moment now, but then like looking at that as we go back to where our homes are and stuff and spreading. I don't know, it was really cool.
Yeah, and then the bus ride back for us wasn't bad. We were not on one of the buses that stopped. We got back. Obviously, it took longer than like it typically would have because of the weather and the roads, but we got back a little after midnight. The bus ride, like I said, was pretty uneventful, but we got back, and laying in my bed, that was wonderful.
Hey team.
Hey
guys.
Sounds like you, alright?
I don't know what to say.
We are headed back. We're headed back to campus after a really good march.
It's 9 o'clock and
Yeah.
Missouri is not here.
Fun fact, Fiona and Bella, while we are about 2 hours away, we're up in Pennsylvania. Fiona and Bella are barely outside of Washington, D.C. because their bus is stuck.
Yeah.
And
Yikers.
It's only because of their windshield wipers.
I told them that they should vlog being stuck and that experience for you guys. Whether
Probably
they'll
get
actually
that.
be in a good enough mood to actually do that, I guess I'll find out later. But that would be great. So we'll get home tonight.
Yeah, we
They
will.
probably
So, bus 7's windshield wipers broke, and so because we were bus 8, we were like the buddy buses with them, so we had to stay behind. And I didn't really know what was happening at first. Like, I woke up, and it was like, we're on the side of the road, and I was like, why are we on the side of the road? Like, why aren't we moving? And then we were still on the side of the road an hour and a half later.
It was not super fun. I would not say it was fun because we got back at like 2 a.m. But again, like back to what I was saying earlier, like just like this, uncomfortability.
Yeah, just like
and-
offering it up just for like all the thousands of like millions of babies that are no longer with us today. It's just like the one, like, I don't know, like 24 hours that we didn't get to sleep. Like, maybe that's just 24 babies that could have been here, could have been like our classmates, could have been living with us. And it's just like, if we can give like up 24 hours, then just for them, then like.
I think the last thing I have to say was just like being there. It was just so. It was an example of good. It was an example of God's goodness throughout all of the people there, marching for life, marching for all of the lives of babies, marching for all of that. And it was just an example of God's grace, God's goodness. God's goodness in our hearts, God's goodness throughout the hearts of the many that were there. And it was just so like profound and so amazing to me, seeing the pure example of good.
So thank you all so much for watching. As Connecticut, I've been mentioning this almost every video. I think I'm going to continue to mention this almost every video. As Connecticut, now, like, we have a team now, right? And as we continue, like, as you guys continue to see more faces and, like, get to know these people, and as we continue to expand into things more than just, like, online ministry, because this goes a long way, like, making content, putting that stuff out there is really powerful. We also want to do in-person stuff, and so we're coming out with a lot of new ventures. Thrive Students, which we made a video on, like, keep an update for announcements for big stuff coming up. We also are really emphasizing Instagram and TikTok now. The YouTube, it's not going away, but like just the truth is the young people are on shorter content, and so we're putting stuff out there in addition to, not in place of the YouTube. And so please do go check that out as well. Anything else?
God bless.
God bless. Click the red subscribe button, and God bless.
That's it.
And we will see you all next week.